Good afternoon. It's a lovely afternoon on a Friday in sunny Brisbane, and I'm trying something a little bit different for my updates this week. A video. So this week's been pretty crazy. We were super fortunate to have the acting Prime Minister of Australia visit and tour our robotics centre, the QT Centre for Robotics. For those of you overseas, the Prime Minister is the leader of Australia, political leader of Australia, sort of equivalent to the President in the United States. And we were very fortunate to have him tour. We got to show him some of our amazing work on drones, automatic air traffic management systems, legged robots, human-robot interaction, agricultural robotics, and lots more. Lots of other engagement this week. I was invited to give a talk at the Office of Naval Research Science of Autonomy meeting, where I talked about the need to blend traditional algorithmic approaches to robotics with modern machine learning or deep learning based approaches and a touch of biological inspiration as well. That was an early morning start, some fascinating other talks and panels in that event. And then the next day, got up early again to give a talk on STEM engagement at the Carnegie Mellon University RoboLunch series, which I was very fortunate to be invited to do. And what I talked about was sort of my journey, many failures and a few successes, investigating how we can do STEM engagement with not just sort of high achievers, but the wider population, including those most marginalized by society. And that was great. We got to have, sorry, my dog is very interested in what I am doing. That was great. There was a crew from the Public Broadcasting Service, or PBS in the States, where we had some really fascinating discussions on what we could be doing better. All right, resuming business. I also had the privilege to do a bunch of mentoring of ECRs or early career researchers and middle career researchers this week from around Australia. It's always a really insightful experience to do that because you get to learn a lot about what is actually happening around the country outside of your own institution. Also had the lovely experience of answering some school kids' questions about autonomous vehicles, really deep, insightful questions, and for their efforts have sent out a little courtesy pack full of some of our autonomous vehicles and artificial intelligence books. Very exciting. We had our first PhD student from overseas to actually physically arrive in the country in a long time. So he's joined us. He'll start again next week. And it's so great to have the borders fully open and to have PhDs and postdocs and other academics starting to come in numbers. Have another postdoc arriving from Spain in a couple of weeks. The autonomous vehicle research we've been doing with Ford Motor Corporation, our first publication became public, and we did a big media release around it, which was really great. Lots of great feedback on that. We also had meetings with some startup companies like Opteron, which is a really exciting startup out of the UK, meetings with James Marshall, their Chief Scientific Officer. They are doing something very close to my heart, which is using biological inspiration to make robots better, faster, more intelligent, more robust, and more capable. So check them out if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Also, it's grant season, so we got rejoinders back for one of our Australian Research Council discovery projects. So we're working through the process of trying to come up with a compelling rejoinder to answer some of the reviewers' questions. And finally, we have very exciting news, which I can't talk about yet, but I hope to be able to talk about in the near future. Something really great that came through this week, but which is currently sort of under embargo. And I think I'm going to lose my ear in a second, and so I'm going to sign off. Wish you all a great weekend. Let me know what you think about this format. I'm going to try and spice it up and do it a little bit more professionally, but hopefully it's of interest to you, and have a great day.